There was a time just a couple of weeks ago when a lot of us as Ravens fans were having conversations about the 2026 offseason, talking about a new head coach, who we going to get for offense and defensive coordinator, who do we want coming out of the draft, and it was just like, oh, I hated seeing that because we were in the middle of the season and while things were looking dark, ever since then, they brightened up so much and we are back. But there are some potential free agents on the Baltimore Ravens that might not be back. Speaking of 2026, ESPN, they did 2026 NFL free agency, the early top 25 ranking and predictions. So at number two, Linda Flender. He is listed as the number 2 potential free agent. Of course, we know that the Baltimore Ravens, they declined his 5th-year option. And something else that we talked about early on this season is that it's not looking good for Tyler Linderbaum as far as him returning to the Baltimore Ravens. In my opinion, if I had to base it off of Ravens history when it comes to signing high-priced, high-ticketed centers, it don't happen like that. But let's see what ESPN had to say. They said, what Tyler Linderbaum brings. Linderbaum has a tone-setting mentality on the interior of the front with the foot speed and body control to match pass rushers and climb to the second level in the run game. Linderbaum's pass block win rate of 95.5 ranks 8th among centers this season, and his 70% run block win rate is 16th. So right in the middle of the pack. Anyway, he said, what we're hearing, Linderbaum is considered a top 10 interior offensive lineman. In the eyes of executives, coaches, and scouts, that makes him an expensive option poised to become one of the highest paid centers. The Ravens have discussed an extension with Linderbaum. Okay, I like hearing that, but are not within striking distance on a deal. When the Ravens declined his 5th-year option in the spring, that enhanced his chances for free agency. That's something interesting to think about because our offensive line could go through a significant overhaul this upcoming offseason, because we got Daniel Falele, free agent, Tyler Linderbaum, potential free agent, and then could they possibly bring in some competition for Andrew Voorhees at left guard? Anything's possible. So anyway, it didn't stop there though. There's another potential free agent on the Baltimore Ravens right now that's been making a big impact on this team. Travis Jones. Let's hear what they had to say. What he brings, a 6'4", 341 pounds. Jones is a physical presence on the interior of the front with the power to displace blockers and fill gaps. Over 3.5 seasons in Baltimore, Warren? Who's Warren? ESPN, real quick. Come on now. Do y'all need to hire somebody to double check the names to be on your editorial staff? Or what's that about? Anyway, man, I hadn't even noticed it. So over 3.5 seasons in Baltimore, Travis Jones has 5 sacks, 13 tackles for losses, and 33 pressures. He's also a high-energy player on tape. What we're hearing, what are they hearing? Multiple teams consider him the best defensive tackle to potentially be available. He's awesome, and an NFC executive said, very tough to block, elite run stopper, a wide-body guy who has enough pass rush. The Ravens could attempt to re-sign Jones, but aren't afraid to let key players leave via free agency. One player comp from NFC executive is Davon, who got $57 million over 4 years from Cleveland in 2023. That's scary to think about because we just talked about the offensive line going through a potential huge overhaul, but the defensive line could too, because not only Travis Jones being a potential free agent, John Jenkins is going to be a free agent. Nnamdi Madubuike. And we don't know his status, and we won't officially know his status until this offseason. So he could continue to be out. Who knows for how long, though. Scary to think about. But then it didn't stop there because we got 3 players, 3 potential free agents in the top 10 of the NFL. All 25 potential free agents. And that's Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely this year, it's been crazy this year. I know he started off, he was hurt, so he missed some time early on. He had that scary injury where he went down in practice and it was like, oh no, but then he came back like a month later. Like, oh, thank goodness. It was scary, boy. No Isaiah Likely. Oh boy, I was scared. But it's been quiet for Isaiah Likely. They just haven't been able to get him going yet. With Mark Andrews, it's been sort of up and down. I think he's been relatively quiet too this season. But again, recently it's been more ups than downs because, of course, in that Dolphins game, he had, 2 touchdowns. And then he got the only passing touchdown in this game against the Vikings. So Mark Andrews is starting to get going. And Charlie Kohler, he's been doing this thing as well, but Isaiah Likely they haven't found that consistent rhythm yet. Will they find a rhythm with his paycheck this offseason? Let's see what this article had to say. It says, what Isaiah Likely brings. Likely's alignment versatility gives offensive play callers more flexibility, and he has the catch and run traits to produce on high percentage throws. Likely should be viewed as a move tight end who brings matchup upside. He has 10 catches for 103 yards this season, and he caught 6 touchdown passes in 2024. I didn't realize it was that, he had really, again, I didn't know what the numbers were behind Isaiah Likely. I knew he hadn't really been involved. I knew he'd been quiet, but I did not know it was only 10 catches for 103 yards. And again, we know he missed some time, but still. Anyway, continue. It says, what we're hearing, several team executives anticipate Likely doing very well in free agency because he can serve as a matchup problem who can separate from coverage. It's true. He's a nightmare. He could really be one of them guys. Anyway, he says, part of the equation, the tight end franchise tag in 2026 is very reasonable at $15.8 million. Some people I've talked to inside the league would not be surprised if Baltimore tags him, especially with its top 3 tight ends hitting free agency. Well, I mean, yeah, top 3, all 3, you mean. Because Charlie Kohler's a free agent too. So Ravens certainly going to have some decisions to make. Going into the season, I was for sure, Ravens going to sign Isaiah Likely. He's going to be the future. Mark Andrews going to go on somewhere else. Charlie Kohler, I think they could get him at a more reasonable deal. Obviously, much less than Mark Andrews or even Isaiah Likely. But so Charlie Kohler, I'm not worried about them losing him. I think they'll end up keeping him. But for Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews, it could be a little battle right there. I think it's definitely leaning way more towards Isaiah Likely. But this season has been so quiet. It's been so, again, he just hasn't been involved like that yet. But all it takes is that one game to get that boy going. So out of these 3 free agents and potential free agents, do you think it's worth it for the Baltimore Ravens to keep them, or should they let them walk? Should Linderbaum be re-signed? Should Travis Jones be kept? Should Isaiah Likely get a new contract extension? Or should the Baltimore Ravens let all 3? Or do you have a preference on one over the other 2 over the other 1? Y'all let me know in the comments, or any other potential free agents that the Baltimore Ravens also have. So we got a big game coming up against the Cleveland Browns this Sunday. And there's nothing like going to a game in person. It's one of the greatest feelings ever. It's one of the most fun things to do. And we want to make that happen for you. So if you're a Ravens fan, even if you're a Browns fan, and you are going to be in Cleveland this Sunday and would like to attend the game, we got a nice little giveaway for you. All you got to do to enter the giveaway to win 2 tickets and a parking pass. And shout out to my guy Jay for making this happen. Much love to you, my friend. He's been rocking with the channel for a very long time, been very supportive, and he wanted to make this happen for Team Keep It Clean. So shout out to Jay. But all you got to do to enter into the giveaway, again, 2 tickets to the Browns and Ravens game and a parking pass. Just follow us on Instagram at Ingravenvids and like and comment on our most recent picture where we attended the Dolphins game. And all you got to do is comment Ravens, Browns. That's it. You'll be entered into the giveaway. I will pick a winner tomorrow, and boom, simple as that. And with this game coming up against Cleveland, it got trap written all over it. Baltimore, please do not fall for it. Y'all know everything that's on the line. Please come through. But in order to find out how Cleveland's feeling about this upcoming game against us, why not hear from the best Cleveland Brown content creator, YouTuber, whatever you want to call it. There's so many different names, creator, all of that stuff. My guy, Quincy Carrier. Let's hear what he has to say about this upcoming game.
What's up, Ingraven? Hello, Raven fans. I'm Quincy Carrier. If you don't know, I cover the Cleveland Browns. I've been talking about the Cleveland Browns for a while. Some years I'm having fun, some years I'm not. And this is definitely one of those years where the fun is being kept to a minimum. You guys know what I'm talking about. Y'all under 500, just like me in the Cleveland Browns right now. But you're hoping to not be under 500 after this game, and I think you will get your wish. The Browns are just not at a good place right now. The defense is starting to do that thing where they realize the offense isn't really gonna bring it, so they're not gonna bring it as well. The Browns usually show up tough for division games, but we'll see what they end up providing in this one. I think, me personally, that the Browns offense and the Ravens defense are bad matchups for each other in a way that favors Baltimore. And here's what I mean by that. Baltimore's defense, as you guys know, has problems. They've given up a big sum of points in a game before. But these are not problems that the Browns can exploit. For example, Roquan Smith. I've had my criticisms of Roquan Smith. Maybe you have heard my criticisms of Roquan Smith, and maybe some of you in the audience agree with my criticisms of Roquan Smith. Welcome to the club, if that's you. But with Roquan Smith, there are things that he can do really well, and there are things that he cannot do as well as you would want him to do, right? You spread out the field, you put Roquan in space, you could put the sniper scope on Roquan and eat him up, right? The Buffalo Bills did a great job of doing that to Roquan Smith earlier in the year, where they just put him in space, made him cover more than like 7 yards of surface area. And when you do that, you could put Roquan in trouble because now he's going to be tentative when it comes to the run fits. He's not going to be thumping with the capital T the way that you want him to thump with the capital T, and he's just going to be another dude out there rallying to a tackle and not really like this game changer that he's supposed to be. But if you remember, one of Roquan's best games and one of the few games while he's worn a Ravens jersey where he's looked like the guy that you guys paid that kind of money to and traded them kind of assets for, he didn't have those problems against the Browns. And I think that's because of how the Browns have to play football. They're going to play in a lot of condensed splits. They're going to play in a lot of tight packages, heavy personnel, which means they're going to be less agile, less able to spread the field out, not able to really force Baltimore into putting, guys that they don't want to be out there. And that means that Roquan Smith's weaknesses aren't going to be able to be targeted, but what the Browns are going to force Roquan to do is his strength, right? Downhill thumping. And look, I got my criticisms of Roquan Smith. And some people might say to Roquan Smith, he a bit heavier than he used to be. And sometimes that's not helpful, right? When you spread out, and you're trying to cover in space, that's not very helpful. But when they asking you to capital T thump, that extra couple pounds is very helpful. And that's what Roquan is going to be asked to do all game against Quincy Junkins, and I expect Roquan to live up to that challenge. The Browns just don't have a great way to force the Ravens into their more problematic sets, into the things that they have problems with. And this was when the Ravens defense was struggling. This was the case. And when the Browns had Joe Flacco out there, right now the Browns quarterback situation is not better than Joe Flacco. Right now the Ravens defense has been playing better football than they had up until that point. Now they did have Justin Madubuike. Now Madubuike is out, so maybe that makes a little bit of a difference because the pass rush isn't going to be the same level, but the Browns offensive line hasn't really made that matter. So, you know what I mean? I don't anticipate there being much problems for the Ravens defense. The Browns offense is just bad. They're a team that struggled to run the ball against the 32 ranked Miami Dolphins run defense. I'm past the point of wondering, what defense are we playing? Are we going to have an opportunity? We're just not good enough to take advantage of anybody right now. And the Ravens are good enough to take advantage of the Cleveland Browns offense. Defensively, look, the Browns give the Ravens their tough challenge, right? Myles Garrett creates a lot of problems for Lamar Jackson, but the problem has been this war of attrition that the Browns haven't been able to win all season, where the defense can starve out a team and not let them get that many opportunities, but eventually the Browns offense is going to give them the ball back so many times that opportunity is gonna happen for them. Special teams is another thing. Remember, the Ravens scored on special teams last time the Browns played the Ravens. The Browns are just off giving up 14 points to the Jets. Our special teams are terrible. I don't expect that to change this week. So I'm not confident that the Browns are going to go in to win this game. Now, here's the quiet part. I'm going to say it out loud for y'all. Browns fans ain't gonna be that mad if they lose this one. I know. We're gonna be doing the Drake meme, right? We're gonna be, oh man, we lost this game. Oh no, we got the number 1 overall pick. Because we got bigger problems that we need to solve. And honestly, the Browns need an offseason to solve their problems. And it's just not gonna fix itself in the middle of this year. I know some of you are wondering, will we see Shador? Probably not. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea to play Shador against the Ravens. I think they'll wait to play him against the Raiders. Maybe if this becomes a blowout, you see Shador, but I don't know. Kevin's kind of stubborn. So I don't think we're going to see Shador in this game. Even if we do see Shador, the reality of the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation is this. The problems that they have right now with this current team before the offseason are so big that a quarterback is not going to solve it unless that guy can play at a top 7 level, right? Unless it's Josh Allen coming off the bench, we got problems on offense, right? So I don't really anticipate Shador to make much of a difference, even if he does play. Like, we had Joe Flacco in earlier, and you saw what that looked like. Joe Flacco goes to the Cincinnati Bengals, where he's free of the problems that the Browns offense has. He looks much better. The Browns offense has problems, and it's making the quarterbacks who play for that offense look worse. Could Shador be better than Dylan Gabriel? It wouldn't be shocking if that were the case. I would expect it. But will it make enough of a difference to make the Browns a threat to the Baltimore Ravens? I doubt it. This is going to be a week for Baltimore. If the Baltimore Ravens lose this game, y'all are hilarious. If y'all lose this game, like, that is hilarious. I can't even begin to describe how hilarious it would be if y'all lost this game. Like, losing to us is hilarious. We just lost to the Jets, and the Jets threw 14 yards to receivers and tight ends in that game. Y'all got Lamar Jackson. If you lose to us, hilarious. I will be on the comment section laughing if you lose this one. So, yes, Baltimore should win this one. Y'all should expect to win this one. I know y'all a little nervous because y'all need to win all of these ones. But, boy, this is the one that keeps you out the playoffs. Whew. John Harbaugh. You got to be on that Amtrak down south or something after the game, because it can't be that you keep your job after that. But y'all have a great day, man. Thank you, Ingraven, for letting me be myself on your channel. And if you like me and you want to watch more of me, check me out, Quincy Carrier, youtube.com. I cover the Browns. I also do some Cavs stuff. So if you're tired of watching the Wizards and you want to jump on to a winning team, come on, join that Cavs bandwagon, and we can all enjoy the Cavs together. Because I know y'all not going to join me on this Browns ones. I'm not even going to act like you want to jump on that wagon right now. Okay, you know what I mean? Y'all got Lamar. Y'all good. But if you want to stop rooting for the Wizards, come on. Cleveland not that far from Baltimore, right? It's not that different. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
All right, Q. We're going to see. It's got no choice but to run it, man. So, Ravens, Browns, it's a lot riding on this game for us. As far as the Browns, I know they just looking to play spoiler, but let's see how this goes. Now let's get into a few questions. My first one came from my guy, Jaden. He said, hey, what's up, Ingraven and Team Keep It Clean, fam? Not really a question about the Ravens, but I hear in videos that you used to play Madden, and the way I found out about your page was from a Madden YouTuber, TD Barrett. TD Barrett is my guy, man. That's my guy. I know he's taking... He got like, I think he got like 2 million subscribers, something like that. But he shot up and he went crazy with it. But now he's taking a little break from YouTube. And I can't knock him for that. I know a lot of people look at it like, oh man, he got so many subscribers, so many followers, making all this money, But if you need a break, man. You got to do what's best for you. So shout out to T.D. Barrett, man. He's good people, man. And I'm happy for all his success. And for him to actually be able to take a break a year for you doing some things right before. But anyway, I can't take no break like that, but he got it. But no, man, he's good people, man. And I hope that everything's going good with him. But yeah, he's good people. But anyway, he said, I wish I knew about your page during your Madden days. Do you still play Madden at all? If so, do you play franchise, and what are some of the moves you have made to the team? Oh, man, I had the trial for Madden this year, and I was playing it. But once the regular season starts for the Ravens in real life, then I don't even touch Madden no more. So I haven't played it since before preseason. Next question came from my guy Derek. He said things have to change. The only Ingraven is D White, hailing from DC, living in ATL. I know I messed up and said my question wrong last time, but I got it now. Firstly, I hope you and your family are safe and warm. It's starting to get a little colder, a lot earlier this year. I pray for a safe and enjoyable season to you and yours. Hey, appreciate you, D White. He said, now to these Ravens. This might be a little long-winded. I want to tell all the team keep it clean to temper your expectations with our team. This team has potential to do some damage later in the season, but we have so much to clean up. Number one, why are the coaches so bent on running Derrick Henry when he clearly is not the level he was last year? But Keaton is running around like his dreads are on fire. At the present, I'm ready to take like 5 to 10 touches away from Derrick Henry and give them to Keaton Mitchell. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I would start off like, I can't even put an exact number on it, but just the flow of the game. How Derrick Henry's doing, how Keaton Mitchell's doing. Give Keaton Mitchell some more opportunities, though. More than he's getting now, I would say. Anyway, and Harbaugh said he want to see more Keaton Mitchell, so we'll see. He also said he definitely has earned more touches, and truthfully, he is more explosive than 22 and 43. That's true. He said Justice is cool, but he ain't Keaton. And the way that this line is run blocking this year, Derrick can't get to the holes he was accustomed to last year. But we saw what Keaton can do with very little space. That man needs more attempts. Oof. Shout out to Pat McCarr. Pat McCarr, he was a penalty machine, but, hey, they were always running to the left side of the offensive line last year. And they got a lot of yards from it. So, hey, give Pat McCarr his credit, man. Anyway, he said, number 2, do you think Lamar is still feeling the effects of that hamstring? I know he said he was good and he played the past 2 games, but am I tripping when I say Lamar just doesn't look that explosive this year? Yeah, he looks different. He looks a little bit off. He does not look the same as normal. He can still, even a off Lamar is still like that. But still, it's just something just a little bit different. He said, and speaking of that, I am in dire need of another highlight reel run from Lamar. When was the last time we had one? It just seems to me the more Lamar tried to prove all his doubters wrong about his arm, he took away the very thing that separates him from the other 31 QBs in the league. Hold up now. Hey, now, yeah, we know that how his legs are and whatnot, but don't sleep on the arm. And I ain't necessarily saying that you are, but Lamar got an arm. And his arm is not the way that he throws, so that separates him from a lot of QBs in the league too. Obviously the legs too, that just, it's like crazy, but the throws that he be making are crazy too. A whole lot of them. And it's been like that for years. Anyway, he said, thank you for letting me get that off my chest. I have so much more, but I got to cut this email short. Next question came from my guy Jarvo. He said, what a game on Sunday. The Bills took an L, the Browns took an L. Now we need the Steelers to get an L, and they got it. He said the Broncos won and need the Chargers to win to keep the Chiefs in third in their division. That happened. He said, I think that trade for Alohi was underrated because our defense actually looks good. First half was a little rough, but the second half they put belt 2 behind. Hey, appreciate that. He said, offense needs to get it together, but I love that Keaton is still being involved, even though we didn't give up on the run game. He said, even though Dre didn't get no sacks, his pressure was on display. Malachi got another pick today, and the defense continues to cause turnovers. Rather, it's on defense or special teams. That's true. They getting it one way or another, and we love it. And the Ravens are not turning the ball over, too, so that's a big part of it as well. He said, Munkin started to dial up plays with that tush-push fake toss to Lamar Jackson for the first down. Luke kept us in the game, but when we make the playoffs, we got to get in the red zone. Back home to the real bank for the Jets against Brandon Stevens. Well, we got to play the Browns first, but I feel you. Next question came from my guy, Deuce. He said, yo, it's Deuce from B-More, Maryland. First, I hope you and the family are doing well. Started watching your videos about 4 weeks ago. Oh, you just started. Hey, I appreciate you, Deuce. Welcome, my friend. He said, and subscribe right away. You're unbiased and you keep it straightforward. Keep it up. I'm supporting 100%. I appreciate that so much, man. I really do. Thank you so much, Deuce. I appreciate it, man. He said, now, I'm watching the game against the Vikings, and let me say this. Keaton Mitchell is a key part of the offense. He got starter potential. I wouldn't trade him. I would keep him in case Derrick Henry decided to retire. He could be that spark to ignite this offense. I see nothing but good things for Keaton Mitchell as he gets more playing time. He said, hashtag vengeance season and hashtag Teamkeepitclean. Appreciate that, Deuce. That's real. That's real. That's what a lot of us been saying for a long time, especially this season. But John Harbaugh, for whatever reason, I don't know what he got against Keaton Mitchell, what he had against Keaton Mitchell. Hopefully, it's what he had against Keaton Mitchell, because that will mean that it's in the past and he ain't got it against him no more. But that boy needs to be on the field. We need to see that number 34 a whole lot more. Next question came from my guy Millie. He said, thanks for including me in the last episode, and I just wanted to see your opinion on this. With all the talk in the league about the dangerous Colts, I think they aren't real contenders. Beating only 2 noticeable teams so far, the only 2 on the way to them being is the Chargers and the Rams. The Cardinals could be a serious problem, but haven't proved themselves much like us. I think they lose to the Chiefs, the Seahawks, and the 49ers. I would be shocked to see them not be first-round exits this year. Love the things you have going for the flock, and I pray Lamar stays healthy. Hey, appreciate that, Miller. And yeah, I just... The Colts, they've been winning. And hey, that boy Jonathan Taylor, that boy is something serious. Right now, if I had to pick an MVP, it'd probably be him, man. That man got it. That man has just been doing his thing for sure. But yeah, they don't strike me as like, oh yeah, that's the team to beat in the AFC. But who is? There's really nobody like that right now. Devil's advocate. Next question came from my guy Davon. He said, I'm sitting here watching your last video on how to fix our Ravens, and all I was hearing was how we keep saying we have to get rid of our coach and spend more money to get the right players. Let's take a look at the other side. Like, when do we take bad coaching out of the situation? Hear me out. These players get to the NFL because they are elite players, and since day one of football, plays have not changed. They either run or throw. They either play the pass or play the run. When do we fault the guys on the field for not playing better ball? The coaches aren't on the field. They are. And last question. Well, okay, with that's true. They the ones that play. The coaches do not play. And even John Harbaugh even acknowledged in the presser from a couple days ago, he said, yeah, I never played in the NFL. So I appreciated him saying that. But a lot of the Baltimore Ravens' biggest issues, in my opinion, and I'm not no X's and O's guy or anything like that, but a lot of the Baltimore Ravens' biggest issues that we see on an annual basis, they come before the play is even started, before the ball is even snapped. Whether it comes to the personnel that's on the field or not on the field, because that's been an issue. Like, why are they not playing this guy? Why is he on the sideline? Why is he inactive? Oh my goodness. And these have been players that have already proven themselves to be able to play in this league consistently. But then we see them on the sideline. It's like, hold up, what? And then there will be a lot of issues. There have been a lot of issues with situational play calling. Hopefully that's the thing of the past. Because in the Vikings game, they did a phenomenal job with adjustments. They did a phenomenal job of just countering what the Vikings were doing and taking away from them. And they said, all right, you're going to take away that? Well, we're going to do this. And it worked. And thank you, Ravens. That's what we've been talking about for the longest. But in my opinion, it's a huge issue if consistently the call before the ball is even snapped, it's like, what are we doing and why? That's been my issue with the coaching staff when it comes to the play calling and just the lack of flow for the game, and then also the personnel decisions. But anyway, continuing. He said, and last question is, why do we think NFL teams have an open checkbook? We have played Madden or adjusted our bank book so we know no matter what, there's a limit. And how can we get mad when they don't pay big money to a player when, an example, we paid good money to Earl Thomas, which was good for the Seahawks, but lost a step or two when we got him? I thought Earl Thomas was still really good for the Ravens. I had no problem with that signing at all. I do not think it was a bad signing. I just think he ended up being a bad teammate to the Ravens, and then him and Chuck Clark, they ended up getting into it. But then Chuck Clark ended up moving on. The Ravens moved on from Chuck Clark. So maybe they should have given Earl Thomas over Chuck. But yeah, man, I think he was good for the Ravens. That's just my opinion. But anyway, he said, what are your opinions on this very long question? He said, LOL, sorry for the length. Blessings to you and your family. Oh, no, I appreciate it, Davon. And yeah, with the checkbook, it's not that the Ravens have an open checkbook. It's that they be having a closed checkbook. That's the issue, in my opinion, with the Ravens. You ain't got to pay every single body. You can't get every single body. But I think the Baltimore Ravens should be more willing to take more risks. This question came from Al. He said, hey, Ingraven, it's been a while since I sent an email, but just wanted to reach out with some positivity. I like that. We appreciate that. He said, one thing I will say is that if the Ravens can make a run, they will have basically been in playoff mode for months by the time the actual playoffs start. That's true. That's true. And Lamar said it. He said, hey, every game is like a playoffs right now. I remember when he said that, there was some Ravens fans that were like, oh, no, don't say that. Don't say that. That's not what we want, because Ravens in the playoffs ain't been too pretty. But you know what he meant. They started the run. So, hey, we in the middle of it now. Anyway, he said, if that were to happen, this team will be about as battle-tested as they ever been in the Lamar Jackson era as far as the regular season goes. That's true, because it counts. You have so little room for error. You really do. And he said, one thing I will give Harbaugh credit for is when his back is against the wall, he suddenly remembers how to coach again. LOL. That's real. That's real. Now, he just got to have that same mindset in the playoffs, and even more consistently in the regular season, too. Usually regular season, for the most part, they be doing their thing if Lamar is healthy. But playoffs, and then even regular season, too, we be seeing some head-scratching decisions, even though, again, recently, we ain't been seeing too much of that. But, like you said, their backs were all the way against their backs were through the wall. Oh, wait a minute. Take that back. Let's scratch that. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. There was a lot of pressure on the Baltimore Ravens, and they have been delivering under that pressure. He said, I would absolutely love to watch Steelers fans lose their minds if the once 1-5 Ravens overtake them and win the division. It would be spectacular. Oh, we would love it. We would love it. He said, anyway, Raven, have a good one, and thanks for letting us have a voice on this channel. Go Ravens. Hey, I appreciate you, Al.